Hey, what's good, YouTube? It is your girl Trisha checking back in. And for those of you who are new, hey, welcome to the channel. A little bit about me. I am a nurse by profession, an advocate for change by conviction, and a nonprofit owner by living out my purpose and who God has called me to be. And for me, through this channel, is me just delivering words of encouragement and letting you know that despite whatever odds you're going through in life, that you are still able to rise and rise to an occasion that allows you to open yourself enough that God is able to speak not only to you, but through you. And no, everybody's not going to understand it. And no, everybody's not going to be able to um, pinpoint you. And I want to let you know that that is okay in this season. And the reason I want to let you know it's okay is because today what I was studying was Acts 25 and Acts 26. And one of the things I'm looking at my notes, you guys, because one of the things I have wrote down is allow him to show you that the word that's down in your heart is meant to be on display. And when I was reading Acts today, 25 and 26, what really stood out to me was Acts 26. And I just want to read what I had marked off for myself here. As I was reading, it has started in Acts 14. I'm in Acts 26:14. He said, "We all fall to the ground, and I heard a voice saying to me in Atkins, 'Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? It is hard for you to kick against the gods.' Then I said, 'Who are you, Lord?' 'I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting.' The Lord replied, 'Now get up and stand on your feet. I have appeared to you to appoint you as a servant and as a witness of what you have seen and will see of me. I will rescue you from your own people and from the Gentiles. I am sending you to them to open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God, so that they may receive forgiveness of sins and a place amongst those who are sanctified by the faith in me.'" And when I was reading this today, I was like, wow. How many of us who was hearing the word or hearing God speak to us, but we were denying it, or we were fighting against his word and being like, "Oh no, this just can't be for me. This just can't be for me." But yet it was for you. This message is for those who heard the call, but was unsure if they should answer. And in this season, I want to tell you, you're going to have to stand. And one of the things I said today is a call to surrender and stand in this season. Because there's going to come a time in your life that God is asking you not to pray, not to do more, not even to be better, but he's asking us in this season to surrender and stand to this next level that he has you placed right in front of at this moment. Because it's two things that's happening in this moment. Your fear want to wrestle with it, because something in you had to die in order to gain this access. And you feeling as if maybe I can stand, or maybe I'm going to fall. But the truth is, unless you go through that door, you will not know. Because his test is our fear of the unknown. He said, but in this season, we have to test that fear of unknown. He said in this season, God is calling us to stop fighting the very process that was meant to shape us into who he knows we are. He said, you're going to have to stop fighting this process. That's why when he told Saul, why do you persecute me? He asking you, why are you fighting him? Why are you persecuting the very person he wants you to be? He said, and sometimes it's settled because we say what we can't do, what we're not going to do. He said, but you have to get rid of that language in this season. He said, because you can do it. But it depends on the words that you're affirming over yourself. Oh. He said, so stop kicking against the grain in this season. Stop kicking against it. He said, instead, find your rest in it. He said, you're going to have to find your rest in him. And your peace and your surrenderance. He said, because everything that he needs for you is in there. He said, he appeared to you for this appointed time, because it's a divine assignment over your life. He said each one of us is a piece to his bigger puzzle. But this works when we get in alignment with our divine assignment. He said that's why when you get with certain people, you realize that the pieces don't fit. So they clash, they're a mismatch. He said it's not that that person is wrong. It's not that you were wrong. It's just that those pieces aren't part of that puzzle at that moment. That is not part of the piece that he needed to sync. He said that's why he had to come in and interrupt certain journeys in your life. He had to come in and interrupt those journeys because although that's a piece on the puzzle, you were trying to put it, you were forcing it to fit in a spot it wasn't meant to be. Oh. He said, so no, I didn't rebuke you. He said, I had to redefine you. He said, because it comes in a point in time, you as a servant, you as his witness, have to be able to understand that you're still carrying value. And the things that you were trying to get yoked with, the things that you were trying to be bound with, they weren't in alignment. And that's what was causing your rebellion. He said, but that's okay because that did not disqualify you from your blessing. He said, instead, I had to teach you how to reposition yourself in this season. He said, and when he's teaching you how to reposition yourself in this position, he said it's because it's deeper than death. It's deeper than you just feeling like you have to die in this season. He said, there's a greater resurrection that he wants to take place in your life. He said, so a lot of us, when we keep asking him, can we die a little bit more to who we thought we were so that we can rise into who he is calling us into be? He said that's because the deeper revelation of Christ is waiting to be unlocked in us. But that access only comes when we stop resisting his spirit that's inside of us. And we must lay down the image that perfection matter, that the need to appear whole has to matter. And to tell the truth, it's about how broken we were before he came and sat with us that helps unlock these gifts that's inside of us. So do you know how powerful your testimony is? It's more powerful than the stuff that you're asking him for. He said, because when you are able to have truth in your own testimony, you unconsciously start unlocking doors for other people. He said, can you get this vulnerable with him? God said he didn't just give us power for things. He did not just give us power for things. He gave us power and authority and a voice that Satan fears. He said he fears it. That's why he asks you to walk the walk. This is where your repentance comes in, and your demonstration that me repenting is unlocking doors for others. It's unlocking doors for ourselves. He said, because in this season, he said, stand on your feet. Stop fighting his guidance. He said, walk boldly in your obedience and witness to others that the same God who saved Paul is still appointing, resurrecting, and restoring today. Not only through you, but through those who you are also attached to and who are looking up to you. He said, let them see. And when I was looking at this and I was really trying to understand this, what he then had reminded me about was if I find it, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what I found. And as I was reading, he had reminded me about Acts 25, verse 17. It says, and when they came here with me, I didn't delay the case, but convinced the courts the next day and ordered the man to be brought in. When his accusers got up to speak, they did not change him with any of their crimes I had expected. They didn't try. God said, when you get to this point in your life, the people who were saying that they were trying to convict you, the people who were standing there, when it was brought before God, when it was brought before society, the things that were trying to hinder you, said, the beauty is this is, the truth will always protect you, because truth can't lie. God allows you to stand on your feet in a way that no man can deny, affirming that even wordless systems must bow to the divine justice God orchestrates in your life. When he appoints you, he also protects your right to speak your truth. He said in this season, when he is protecting your right to speak your truth, whether the people like it or not, he said it does not matter. He said in this season, you have ordered steps. He said just the same way when they were trying to bring Paul in front of the highest authority. The highest authority even had to understand and say, let him speak for himself, because he had questions as well. God said, you got to understand that you're not fighting the process. Sometimes when it's a delay or you feel like you're under pressure, we think God is late. He's not here. But he said what looks like delay is just his divine planning for your appointed time, which is now. He said this is why he's asking you to stand and surrender in this season. He said there's something he needs to lay up on you. He said, would you let him lay this on your spirit? He said the spiritual warfare that you up against, no, this is not like something you've seen before, because you're walking a new path. He said, and now that you're walking a new path, things that you were once blind to that you can see, he said the devil know he can't use those tricks against you. He said instead he's trying to match your energy. He's trying to send a different level of warfare. He's trying to send new people in your way in order to distract you from your purpose, and to distract you from the plan that he has over you. Because he understands that with you trying to be a world changer, an advocate seeker, he said you got to understand, if he can't get you, he got to start attacking those around you. Because he's trying to figure out if he can get you off your square. He said, don't let him get you off your square in this season. No. He said if he's getting craftier, that means you need a deeper surrenderance. Of who you're becoming in Christ. He said, because when he see that you are changing, when he see that you're speaking the word of God over people, he has to still try to get your soul back to him. Satan is still trying to get a hold of you. He says, so just because you make it to a new level, don't mean the devil is done with you. It just means it's a different fight. He said, in some of these fights, you never seen before. Some of the attacks he started doing is on a much higher scale, a higher level. Because if he gets you to throw your faith in, he said he know he can get you back on his corner. God said that's why he came. That's why he called your name. Remember when he said it? He said, Saul, Saul. He called him. He said, why do you persecute me? God said, why do you resist me? Why are you resisting me in this season? He said, baby, fall back into your process. Fall back into that love. He said the warfare has to happen. He said, I told y'all before in a few videos back, I said, he said, don't fight the warfare when it come up against you. He said, allow it to happen because his glory is attached to it. He said, in this season, you're going to have to let these things come up against you and attack you. He said, because one thing he did was he gave you sturdy roots, a sturdy foundation. He said that you could be planted. He said, so the things that's coming up against you, that's trying to beat on your house, to beat on your flesh, he said he gave you power against that. That's why he taught you how to put it under submission. He said that's why he made you go into the fastings. He said because he was making sure that you understand when the things start coming to beat against this house, that you're going to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. He said, remember that confidence I gave you? Remember that boldness I gave you? He said, I gave it because no man can shake it. He said, and the reason I was making sure you fast is because I needed you to die to your own convictions. I needed you to die to your own fleshly wills. He said, I had to know what was down up in you. What things can you give up for my name's sake? Ooh. He said, sometimes you got to understand that even your testimony you speak rises you from the weakness in Satan. And it gives him his glory. God said, then you can give him his glory. Because he knows these battles isn't easy. He knows how tempting the flesh can get. He said, but in this season, he's working swiftly to bring clarity to you, to expose, for you can have your exposure and elevation. He said, but while he's moving swiftly, you also got to be knowing how to surrender and stand. He said, because they like to bring up the things that once tried to crush you, things that wanted to shrink you or send you backwards. He said, but not in this season. Not in this phase. He said, in this phase, it's a whole new level. He said, that's why he had to go and give you that interruption that I spoke about in the last video that can change everything. This is why he said that you had to be appointed to him, given to him, surrendered to him. So before I leave off this video today, I want to tell you, part of your surrendering is stop kicking against your own process and stand in it. Because your weakness was never your disqualification in this season, but it was the stage that God needed for his strength to be seen inside of you and through you. So stand on your feet. You have been appointed. He said, and keep testifying with boldness about who you are in him. Not just who you are, but who you are in him. And where he brought you from that deception, from that weakness, from that unseenness. And tell him how he restored you. How he guided your path. How he made that crooked path straight. He said, tell the people about it. Ooh. He said, but then lastly, demonstrate it. Show them what redemption really looks like. He said, this is where you got to let your walk match your words. He said, is your walk matching your words? He said, let your obedience be your greatest offering to him. Ooh. He said, in this season of your life, you're going to have to be okay with letting your voice be heard, whether the people like it or not. You're going to have to be okay with who he designed you to be, whether the people like it or not. He said he gave you a chance to stand still. And it was something I had read. Oh, yes. I have read in Acts 25. It said, I had told them that it is not the Roman custom to hand over anyone before they face their accusers and have had an opportunity to defend themselves against the charges. When they came here with me, I had not delayed the case. He said, when you had a chance to stand against your accusers in this season, he said they couldn't convict you until you had to stand your trial. He said the beauty of when you stood your trial, he let you stand in your truth, in your brokenness, in your unseenness. And speak about it with your boldness, with your confidence that although I was broken in this season, although I was slayed in this season, it didn't stop the purpose that was over my life, that God had planted within me. And you got to understand that while this was happening, your accusers wanted to understand, why would you speak about a man who was dead? Jesus is dead. How can you still say he's alive? Because he's in me. Because he's in me. That's how I know he's alive. He said that's why you're able to speak the truth that you're able to speak, because you understood. He was the first one who shows you how to rise from the dead. He said, and when you rose from the dead, baby, you picked up his spirit. So this is what they're wanting to convict. This aliveness that's inside of you. He said because they were banking on this was you being taken out. He said, but sometimes they don't know when death looked this good, when his glory still got to reign, when sacrifices still have to be made. It's your girl Trisha just checking back in with a quick message to let you know this is a whole new warfare, because you asked God to allow you to surrender to a new level that now the devil got to kick up and get a little craftier. He said, so study Acts 25 and 26. Because he said in one page, I'm going to let you know that their accusers is going to come. Because they don't believe Jesus is still alive. But he said, as they hear you speak your truth, they have no choice but to know he's alive. He said, and then you're going to get to Acts 26, where he teaches you how to get up and walk. Get up and stand. Anyway. Again, it is your girl, Latricia. Check my description below. I am an advocate for change again. And I did leave my cash up there. I am a nonprofit owner of Let's Direct Our Own Path, where we do one-on-ones, where we do mentorships, where I also provide housing for those who are in need. And I also left my email below. So if you're wanting to get in touch with me, feel free to email me and we can connect. Otherwise, I want you guys to know this is each one teach one season. If you see your brother or sister crown tipping, help them fix it. You ain't got to tell them you fixing it. Just help them fix it. Because we are all we got. And we are breaking the chains of brokenness, while we're building chains of hope and a future. But it takes a village. It takes them frontline workers to get back online. He said he woke you up to who you are. You no longer just walking asleep. He said you wide awake, baby. He said now you got to go and fight. He said you got to push through this with the confidence and the boldness that he gave you. I love y'all. Until next time, love on each other. Take care of each other, because we are all we got. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video, because even if it's not helping you, it is meant to be out here to help someone. And the more that you like and press subscribe, it will reach those people. Until next time, y'all be easy and take care of each other.